So today I got my myelogram, CT myelogram. I was so scared, most anxious I've ever been going into any appointment ever. Not even a surgery have I ever been this scared. Um, the techs were great. The doctor was fantastic. My doctor's clinic uses an x-ray machine to look at your spine in real time while the doctor is inserting the needle into the spinal cord so that no mistakes are made. The doctor even came into the procedure like all wrapped up in lead to protect him. So first thing I did, lie face down on the bed table with a pillow kind of on my chest, and my head was pointing down, hands up over my head, clothes on, all the clothes that I wore there on. My t-shirt got tucked up into my bra strap, and they didn't take off my shoes, nothing, just, okay, lie down on the bed. They have the x-ray machine overhead, over my back, as I'm facing, like, down, prone. So they clean with a couple different things. They put, like, a plastic sticky sheet on so that it's like a square of where the doctor goes in with the needle. And doctor says, okay, you're gonna feel like a poke because of the numbing. They're numbing me. Feel the poke. I thought, okay, that's not so bad. Hopefully let's just get through. I was almost like not even breathing, barely breathing, because of how just like stressed out I was. And the doctor says, okay, we're gonna go in now with the needle. You're gonna feel pressure. They go in with the needle and they kind of test it. They go in with like a bluntish needle, so they're not just right through to your spinal cord. So it's a bluntish needle, and they go through and they get into the spinal cord area, and then they test it, and then they like look, check, make sure that the contrast is going into the right area, and then they dump a lot of the contrast in. So there's a lot of like check and balances that is happening here to make sure that nothing is going wrong. The feeling was not pain, pressure, really odd, tight, tense pressure. When the needle was going into me, I thought like I was barely breathing. I had to hold my breath. I had to hold my breath too. I can't remember if I was holding my breath when the needle was going in or if I was holding my breath when the needle was currently in and then they were dumping contrast, because I know that there was a point. So let me just start at the beginning. So the needle goes in and I feel like, am I going to, like, is it going to keep going? Because it goes in and I'm thinking, like, it can't go any further, right? It's going to hit something. It can't go any further. It just keeps going. I just feel more and more pressure in that area. And then at one point he told me to hold my breath. And then at another point, he was kind of messing with stuff, and it did feel really tight. Just felt like a foreign thing going into your body. A bit like a period cramp, but just in like a line in that area. Also, he didn't go through up and down. Obviously, like, you've got bones sticking up. So they went through the side slightly to my left, on my left side. And I thought, like, it is really on the side. Like, oh, we're going in, like, through the rib cage. But then when I looked at, but I'm facing down the whole time. So then I look at, like, where the Band-Aid is, and it's so much more in the middle of my back. And so it's just, like, the perception of thinking, where is this going in? Where do I feel it? Versus where is it actually? It was just kind of weird that I felt like it was so far to the side, and really it was like so close to the spinal cord and like up and down, but it just felt like it like drove a mile to get where it needed to go. And then I know that I had thought that they had put it in and taken it out already, but I was still so scared that I wasn't moving. And then he said, "Okay, we're gonna like we're taking it out and it's all done." And I like I'd already thought that it was taken out. And I thought that it was just like pain and pressure from like dumping in the contrast through that area, but um anyway, it was not crazy painful. It was not um the worst pain I've ever felt. I did feel random like tingles in different parts of my body. My fingertips, I remember. It did feel like pressure squeezing. The tech said, use the term sciatica, all the way up from like mid back where they had stuck the needle in, down to your buttocks. And so I still kind of feel that like sciatica in my butt area. So doctor leaves. He says, okay, everything's great. I didn't even notice that he left because, like I said, I was just so still. Just say so still, because I had also heard that you're going to get muscle relaxers and stuff so that you stay still. I did not. They just, whoop, we're going in here. Just hold really still. And I was nervous because one of my like symptoms is tremors or twitching. And so I was just really concentrating on not being still. And then when he said, okay, it's over, we're wiping the area and we're putting a Band-Aid on, when they took off that sticky mat that just has that opening, I thought, okay, well, now we're really over. And I just had like this overwhelming sense of wanting to cry. I don't know if it was just because I was in pain or because I had hyped myself up from being so scared. But I felt like I was tearing up. Just relief. Okay, the scary part is over. They've entered into the spine. Nothing crazy happened. They exited the spine. And so I just feel so emotional. And so I wanted to say thank you to the doctor. But like I said, I'm scared to move. So I'm just still facing down and I'm not lifting my head or anything at all. And I'm scared to even talk. Even when they were saying, like, are you okay? I said, uh-huh. Like barely trying to move my mouth at all. And then, what else? So the doctor leaves. By the time that I get myself together to where, okay, it's not going to sound like I'm crying, no one's going to know that I'm crying, I asked the tech, who I knew was standing next to me, is the doctor still in the room? And she said, oh no, he left, but he's just outside the door. And I said, okay, can you just tell him, like, thank you for taking care of me because he did such a good job. And I feel bad that I didn't say anything when he left. So they scooted the bed that was underneath the x-ray machine over to a different big machine. It's like a big circle. And then they said, okay, so we're just going to have you roll. So I'm laying down flat like this. We're gonna have you roll onto one bed on your back and then roll back onto your flat stomach on the first bed. Roll back to the second and then roll 3 times. We're gonna do 3 times. And that is to mix up the contrast in your spinal cord area. And so I did that. And then they said, okay, so now come over, face down again. And now I'm on the second bed that's underneath or attached to the big, huge circle. And then she said, we're going to take lower back pictures. So then go in and out of the machine. It says, like, hold your breath. And so you hold your breath and it says breathe. And so you just do that for a few times. And then she said, okay, those pictures look good. We're going to do pictures of your like, not brain, but like upper area. And so you might feel pressure. We're going to have you go back to the first bed because the first bed moves. And so I go to the first bed and they tilt the bed so that I'm still face down. Front face is toward the ground and then legs are up in the air. And they keep me that way for a little while. Then I go back so that I could transfer to the second bed inside the circle. And we do that, she says, okay, I'm going to test the pictures to make sure that the contrast went down, because I told her, she said, you're going to feel pressure. And I just felt great. I didn't feel pressure. Like my head felt awesome. So then she went and took the picture, and I go into the thing. She said, it's not as bright as it could be. I feel like we still need more contrast to get up there. And so she had me kind of do a little bit of a downward dog thing. But I was on my knees. So my butt is up in the air, my knees are on the ground, and my thighs are straight up and down. And then my head is touching the bed. So downward dog, and then my or maybe it's child's pose. I think child's pose is that one. But my butt is elevated so that my legs are to just create a really big kind of arc. And then keeping the back straight, obviously. You don't want to bend right now when you just got messed with. So I do that for a few minutes, and then she has me lay back down flat, on my stomach, head down, and then they take more pictures. She said, okay, that looks better. And then after that, we did thoracic, so the middle section. So they had me flip the only pictures that were on my back, and I'm looking up, and there's a laser, so you have to close your eyes. They had me wait again, put my head on a pillow, put my knees up on a pillow, and I stayed there for 5 minutes, then went in, took pictures. Lots of hold your breath, into the circle, closed eyes because the laser, and I could tell that there was a laser even when I was face down, because it's really bright. And so then we took all the pictures. She said, okay, great. Got about 45 minutes of rest time now after this. Or maybe she said 30. I can't remember. So I go from the second bed inside the circle to transferring to the first bed that everything happened on already. And I just lay there on my back. Actually, I bonked my butt really hard because every time that I transferred back and forth, I was facing down, and so I could see. And then the last time I was on my back, going to lying on my back again, and I really bonked my butt on the edge of a table, and it hurt. And then I got a lot of the sciatica pain. And then my foot started twitching. But then I just laid there flat, put blankets on me because it was pretty cold and I had goosebumps, and just rested there. Had random kind of, what would you call it, ghost pain or nerve pain, just boop, this feels like something's getting pulled in my arm, something's getting pulled in my back, something's getting pulled, and then a lot of that pressure, fullness where the needle went in, pressure and fullness on the other side of and I'm kind of wondering, because it wasn't at all where the needle went in, but it's kind of mirrored on the other side. Yeah, so it was not fire. I've heard about the fire pain. I didn't get fire up my spine, at least not yet. I'm only home. I've been home for 20 minutes. It just feels really stiff, feels really sore, feels like pressure, feels like maybe a string is inside me and someone's kind of tugging on it in all of the areas around the spinal cord. But so far it's good. And I was so relieved because I was really, really scared of the whole thing. I was praying. My husband and I said prayers before going in, just that no spinal fluid leaked out, that nothing crazy happened, that the needle didn't go too far, that I don't have a leak, and then I need a blood patch to patch the leak of the spinal fluid. And I won't know that for a while, but right now it feels okay, and I'm really happy. And it was not as bad as I thought, and my doctor was incredible, and yeah, I think that's it. Okay, bye.